can't solve your financial problems with the same kind of thinking that caused them. These words will change your reality because poverty can't survive in a dough chaser's mentality.
The beat majors.
So to all my dough chasers, it's time to get this party started now.
I like it.
With your host, Jason White.
Yo, what's up, Dough Chasers? This is Jason White, your host of Dough Chaser TV. Tonight, we're going to be talking about 6 secrets to improve your credit score up to 200 points. I'm going to be breaking down the 6 secrets in my book, Credit Builder Secrets. Check that out. Okay. If you have yet to get this book is very awesome. Okay. I gave a lot of people opportunity to get it for free. If you have yet to get this book, you're playing yourself. Anyway, I'm going to break the information down in this book for free with you live this evening. And for those of you who are watching, you're going to love me at the end of this live feed. Okay. I can assure you that. But as you come in, let me know who you are, where you're from. We are about to get started any minute now. But first, I need to know who I am talking to. So please comment. Let me know who you are, where you're from. And then I'm going to share with you the 6 secrets to improve your credit score up to 200 points. Please type 1 if you can hear me. Type 2 if I need to turn up my audio, please. All right. Also, I want to let you know at the end of this live feed, I'm going to be giving away some material. I'm going to give away the Dough Chaser trucker hat, okay? And I'm also going to be giving away a t-shirt, Credit Champion. Peep this out. If you want one of these, make sure you stick around to the end, because if you don't, you're going to miss out. And I don't want you missing out, all right? So let me know who you are, where you're from. I got Ari Bella from Orlando, Florida. Thank you for being here this evening. We got Alexandra King from Dominican Republic, but live in Jacksonville. How you doing? Let me see here so we can view those. Yeah, let me know who you are, where you're from as you come in. We're going to be breaking down the 6 secrets to improve your credit score up to 200 points. Again, this information is shared in my book, Credit Builder Secrets. If you had a chance to read this book, please comment how dope it is and how much it has changed your life, especially with your credit. I would definitely appreciate that. But first, let's talk about credit, okay? Your credit score is your number when it comes to how well are you managing debt, all right? Typically, creditors, they look at this score to see if they can trust you with their money. Okay. At the end of the day, debt is nothing but other people's money, and you get the opportunity to use it to acquire things, invest in businesses, and all that good stuff. Okay. So your scores, they average from a 300 to an 850. I'm going to be going back and forth to my drawing board. Okay. Just so you all can take notes. But the lowest score you can have based on the FICO model is a 300. The highest score you can have is an 850. That means that you have 550 points that you actually have the power to influence, okay? And the information that I'm going to share with you this evening is going to help you get an understanding of how you can take action and begin to improve your credit score tremendously, all right? So, why should you listen to me? I've been in business since 2013, and since then, we've helped over 5,000 individuals improve their credit scores dramatically, okay? Being in the situation that I'm in, I have a very elevated understanding of how credit works, how to improve credit, how to repair credit, and I put myself in a position to help others get massive results with their credit. And what I want to do is I want to help you all get at a point in your life where you can tremendously improve your credit and begin to use that credit score and use other people's money as leverage so that you can help your family and yourself transcend financially, okay? And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down the 6 secrets shared in my book, Credit Builder Secret. I'm going to be sharing that with you. I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to know so that you can improve your credit score up to 200 points. As you come in, let me know who you are, where you're from. Make sure that you show some love. I appreciate the likes and the shares and the comments. Please keep that up. I would definitely appreciate that. But let me know who you are, where you're from. We got Wendy from Callaway, Atlanta. Casey Winton from Charlotte, North Carolina. Appreciate that. We got Jamal Lawrence from Kinston, North Carolina. Okay, so we have 550 points that we can influence, okay? Under the FICO model, there are 5 components to a credit score. 5 components. The first component to your credit score is payment history. This is your ability to pay your bills on time. If a lender is giving you some money to use to acquire things, they want at the end of the day for you to keep the agreement. Hey, we're going to give you $30,000. At the end of the day, we just need you to pay $400 a month over the next 5 years, and this will be satisfied. At the end of the day, this is what we need you to do, okay? This is 35% of your credit score. The second component of your credit score is something called credit utilization. This is the comparison of your credit cards collectively, okay? They look at your credit card balances to your credit card limits, all right? They compare that. And typically, rule of thumb is you never want to exceed 30% because once you exceed 30% credit utilization, it begins to have a big impact, a negative impact on your credit score. This is also 30% of your credit score. The third component, length of history. This is basically sharing with your creditors how long have you had experience with managing other people's money. How long have you had experience with managing debt? Okay, this is 15% of your credit score. Okay, the fourth component we have is credit file mix. This is 10% of your credit score. This is basically the different kind of accounts that you can have on your credit report. We have installment accounts. These are accounts that look like student loans. They look like mortgages. They look like car notes. Those are installments. Basically, you have a loan. You have a set amount of payments that you need to make. And as long as you make those set amount of payments, you're good. The second one we have is revolving debt. These are where you get a line of credit and you have the ability to use that up, pay it down, and that available credit will always be there as long as you pay it off. And then we have the third, which is the open account. You don't see these too often, but these are more like cell phone bills, utility bills. There is no limit, but your job is to make sure you pay that bill in full every month, okay? And the goal is to have a good mix on your credit report because it shows that you can actually manage different kinds of debt responsibly. Okay, that's 10% of your credit score. And then lastly, we have inquiries. Get this right so Facebook can see this. This is 10% of your credit score. This is basically how often are you looking to obtain new debt, all right? And a lot of times we see a lot of people shooting themselves in the foot because they don't understand the power of no. Their credit score is continuing to plummet because each inquiry impacts your credit 2 to 5 points, up to 10% of your credit score. And people, because they're not improving their credit, they continue to look for new lines of credit, and they get denied because their credit score isn't credit worthy. Okay, 10% of your credit score. All right. So we understand that the lowest score that you can have is a 300. The highest score you can have is an 850. And we have 550 points that we can influence. Okay. When we break this down and compare the percentages to the actual number, 35% of 550 is 192.5 points. That means payment history can hurt your credit score 192.5 points. So if you're not paying your bills on time, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot and hurting your credit score up to 192.5 points. Credit utilization, 30% of your credit score. 165 points. Length of history, 15%. 82.5 points. Foul mix, 10%. 55 points. And the inquiries, 55 points. Altogether, that's 550 points that you can actually, influence if you were to look at this strategically. All right. And everything that I share with you, there's a strategy behind it. And often the strategy is to add payment history, add points to your credit score, or is to remove derogatory information that is negatively impacting these 5 components. All right. So are you sticking with me so far? Okay. I need you to understand that this is important. This is huge, because understanding these 5 components and looking at your credit report, you can understand what you need to focus on to help you improve your credit dramatically. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to share the 6 secrets to improve your credit score up to 200 points. All right. What I need from you is I need you to show some love. I need you to either share this video. I need you to either like this video, or I need you to comment. Let me know how you feel about this information. If you knew this, if you didn't, let me know. Okay. Casey said it's hard to see the board. I know, man. I got a weird angle over here. Got a very, very weird angle. Okay. All right. Can you see the board? Is it easier to see? Let me back it up a little bit. All right. I'm going to try to not write so low. That way you all can see this board. Let me see here. Hard to see the board. Signal is kind of bad. Let me see what's going on with my signal. All right, I'm going to fix this signal. Facebook. All right, YouTube. We got JT from Georgia. We got Corey Clark from Oakland. Destiny Holmes from LA. How y'all doing? All right. Let me see who we got. I got a couple groups on. We got Summer Rogers from Concord, North Carolina. How you doing? All right. So while this is reconnecting, sorry, everybody. I'm having connection issues. That happens when you try to do everything at once. But it's all good. Michael, I have 7 credit cards and 2 installment loans. Is there anything else I need to have a great mix of credit? That's actually a pretty good mix right there, Michael. Steven from St. Louis, how you doing? All right, so I lost Facebook. It's all good. Hey, y'all, we live. I apologize. We're live. Sometimes you have these issues when you're live. Okay, so let's dive back into it. So these are the 5 components to your credit score, okay? Let's talk about some myths. Oftentimes, when people are looking to improve their credit, they have friends and family that will try to give them advice, and they will say, hey, you don't really need to do all this improving of your credit in these areas. You don't need credit repair. You don't need to, get credit cards or anything. All you need to do is pay your bills on time. And the thing about that is, it's not very strategic, okay? And if you end up listening to the wrong person, you can end up shooting yourself in the foot. And at the end of the day, we don't want that. We want to make sure that you get results on improving your credit. So really quick, if you're one of those people who believe that all you got to do is pay your bills on time to improve your credit, let me share with you why that is not true, okay? So please join me on my screen. We have, in this particular area, okay, we have the 5 components of a credit score, okay? Let's say that you have a credit score of 300. And you were to take the advice of one of your good old pals, and, you know, all you did was focus on payment history. You see that first component right there? 192.5 points, okay? 300 plus 192.5 points. That gives you nothing but a 492.5. Last time I checked, that's still bad credit. Would you agree? Okay. So when your friends and family, they try to give you advice about improving your credit, and they say all you have to do is pay your bills on time, or you see anybody on social media saying that, tell them to shut up because they don't know what they're talking about. Okay. What you need to do to improve your credit is focus on positively influencing these 5 components of your credit score. And if you can do that, you're going to see dramatic increases to your credit, and one day have the opportunity to leverage your credit on your credit score, okay? So let me look at some of the comments. Jarrell King says, I have no revolving credit. Everything is in collections. Should I change that? Definitely, and I'm going to share with you exactly why you should. Jamal Lawrence asks, I didn't know that, so how much does the income you bring affect your credit score? Income does not impact your credit score. Income impacts your debt to income percentage. That does not impact your credit score, okay? Income has no influence on your credit score, if anyone is wondering. But it does influence the application. So when you're applying for new debt, they want to make sure that you can afford it. And they're going to look at your debt to income ratio. And in that aspect, they will look at your income. But when it comes to your credit score, it has no impact on your credit score. These are the 5 components of your credit scores. These are the 5 impact areas of your credit score. And as you can see, income is not one of them. All right. Keep that in mind. All right. So let's go into the first strategy. A lot of times we will see people who will have, late payments on the credit report, okay? And typically on your credit report, they want to see above a 95% positive payment history on your credit report, okay? So let me show you these numbers real fast. Let me show you these numbers. So let's say that over the span of a year, you have $100 payments on your credit report, okay? Of those 100 payments, 90 were positive. And you had 10 which were negative, meaning that you had 10 late payments. That would give you a success rate of 90%. Now, in actuality, 90%, we would think, that's an A-. That's not bad. However, when it comes to your credit reporting, that is not good, okay? And what we want to do is we want to find a way where we can strategically impact this if we're not able to remove those late payments from our credit report. And if you were wondering, what do you think, what's a great way to positively impact something that's negative? It's to add more positive things to it, okay? So we have what I call a 4-card strategy, okay? And the 4-card strategy is going to help you twofold. It's going to help you add more positive payments to your credit report, okay, which is going to help you dramatically improve your payment history. And it's also going to help you in a clever area, which I'm going to break down in a couple seconds. But let's say that you were, year 2, you maintain the same situation. You have 90 positive payments, 10 negative payments, but over the span of a year, every 3 months, every quarter, you added one new revolving account to your credit report, okay? 4 cards. And 4 cards over the span of a year that will give you a positive flow of 48 additional positive payments. So again, you have your normal accounts, and then you add 4 cards to your credit report. So that means you added, over the span of a year, 48 additional positive payments to your credit report. Are you with me? Okay. 48 positive payments plus 90 that's 138 positive payments plus 10. Can someone please do the math for me? What is 138 divided by 148? Someone please do the math for me. 138 divided by 148. Let me see if I can pull out my calculator. Okay, I'm not so limited. 138 divided by 148. That is 93.2%. So I know what you're thinking. Jason, that doesn't seem dramatic. No, it's not. However, okay, if you can't see that, 93.2%, okay? So we went from 90%, and over a year, we improved our payment history 3.2%. In the credit world, in the credit world, that is huge, okay? This alone will potentially improve your credit score 25, 50 points alone. Okay. And basically what it's doing is it's allowing you to wash out those negative payments so that they don't have such a big impact on your credit score. The more positive payments that you have to reinforce your credit, the more those late payments will have a less of an impact on your credit. Okay. Are you with me? Are you sticking with me? Does that make sense? So over the span of a year, we add 4 new revolving accounts to our credit report. It helps us improve our payment history 3 to 5%. That 3 to 5% percentage point will improve your credit score 25, 50, 75 points, okay, because it has such a big impact on your credit score. But here's the greater thing about this. If you don't have any credit cards, Jarrell King, okay, that means that you are not positively impacting the second component of your credit score. Okay, Jason, the second component of my credit score, that's credit utilization. So because you don't have any revolving accounts and you're not impacting credit utilization, that means you are missing out on 165 points that you could be up by having a credit card alone. So by you adding that 4-card strategy, not only are you positively impacting the payment history, but now you're positively impacting the second component of your credit score, which is going to help you get a huge boost. Type 1 if you're sticking with me. Type 1 if you understand that. Let me know if you need me to break that down again. Okay. Type 2 if you don't understand. Type 1 if that is understandable. Type 1 if that's understandable. Type 2 if you do not understand and you need me to break that down again. Okay, Omar said 2. Okay, so Omar, what I'm saying is by you adding 4 cars to your credit report, you have the ability to add 48 positive payments over the span of a year. Bobby said 3. You have the ability to add 48 positive payments over the span of a year, okay? So what we're looking at is someone who has 100 payments on their credit report, and 90 of those payments were positive and 10 of them were negative. That would give them a 90% success rate, okay? What I'm saying is if you're unable to get those late payments removed from your credit report, we have to find a way to minimize their impact. And the 4-card strategy allows you to minimize that impact because it's going over a span of a year, over 12 months, 4 times 12, that will allow you to add 48 positive payments to your credit report, okay? 48 positive payments plus the 90 that you already have, that will give you 138 positive payments. 138 divided by the 148 total that you have, that will increase your success rate to 93.2%. Okay? By you doing that, that small percentage in the credit world is huge. That's going to help you minimize the late payments that you have on your credit report and allow you to get some of those points that you lost because so. All right. That's what I'm saying. So over the span of a year, if you are someone who has late payments on your credit report and you want to find a way to offset that, we have to find a way through adding positive payment history in addition to what we're already doing. Okay. And the 4-card strategy is a great strategy to implement. And not only will that help you negate the negatives that are on your credit report, the negative payments, but it's also going to help you impact the second component of your credit score, which is credit utilization. A lot of people miss out on their opportunity to improve their credit and maximize it because they don't believe in credit cards. But the thing is, if you want a credit score above a 700, you need credit cards. Credit cards impact your credit score 30%. When we make that relative to the actual numbers, 30% of 550 points that we have the power to influence, that's actually 165 points that you can gain by adding credit cards to your credit report and maintaining low credit utilization. Okay? So what I'm sharing with you all is 6 secrets, 6 strategies that you can implement to help you improve your credit score up to 200 points. This 4-card strategy is one of them, okay? What's up, Muriel? How you doing? All right. So let's go into strategy number 2. Strategy number 2. Which one? Let's go with this. Okay, so when you get those credit cards, if you don't have them, you definitely need them. The 4-card strategy is ideal for those of you who don't have credit cards. However, some of you may have credit cards, okay? And a lot of times, one thing that I noticed is people with credit cards, they're not paying attention to, how that card reports on the credit report, okay? And there is something that you need to pay attention to. The strategy, very simple, but a lot of people overlook it, okay? This is the statement date versus due date strategy. So you have credit cards, okay? And the credit cards are reporting on your credit report. And a lot of times what we recommend is that, if you're going to use your credit cards, try to pay them off each month. That way you don't have to pay interest. However, people will pay them off and then they'll pay them off. They'll get them down to a 0 balance or a balance under 30% of their utilization. And when they look at their credit report, their utilization is way higher than what they expected. And if you're not careful, you can end up losing a lot of points to your credit score by not paying attention to these two particular dates: your statement date and your due date. Okay, your due date is the date that you receive on your statement that basically says you need to pay your bill by this date. Okay, that's your due date. Your statement date is when they actually send out the statement. Okay, so when they look at your credit card, let's say on the 28th of every month, is when they say that that's your due date. Let's say that the 28th of every month is your due date. And your statement date is the 3rd of every month. One thing that I've noticed is people will pay their bill in full on the due date, okay? And then the days in between the due date and the statement date, they'll use the credit card again without understanding that what actually reports to the credit bureaus is the balance on this date, on the statement date, okay? So what you need to understand is that though you may be someone who is managing their credit card responsibly, if you're not paying attention to what the balance is on the statement date, that balance can report and end up hurting your credit score more than what you expected. So what you need to do is you need to set up automatic bill pay for your credit cards, okay, so that they pay the minimum due by that date. And then what you need to do is your true due date, you want to make it the day before the statement date. You want to pay that balance down as much as possible the day before your statement date, because the balance that's going to report to credit bureaus is the balance that shows up on that date. This could be the difference between having 165 points versus having 50 points. We want to maximize this component of our credit score to our greatest ability. And in order for you to do that, you got to make sure that you are maximizing the dates on your credit cards, okay? That one is very simple. A lot of people overlook it, but that could be the difference between you maximizing your credit score and losing, 50, 75 points because you weren't paying attention. And a lot of people don't know this. Does that make sense? Castor, we're still utilizing a third-party credit monitoring. Does that make sense? Type 1 if that makes sense. Type 2 if you need me to explain that again. You're welcome, Omar. Okay, so when you're looking at your credit cards, make sure you have them as low as possible by the statement date. Okay, set up automatic bill pay on your due dates so that you can pay the minimum due on the due date. However, a day before the statement date, you want to get that balance down as much as possible. That way, the balance that reports is the actual balance that you want to report. A lot of times people will pay the balance down as much as possible on the due date. They'll use the card again in the meantime, and they're, unknowingly, the payments that they rack up in the meantime are actually going to be reporting to the credit bureaus, and they don't want that to report. And if they would have known this information, they could prevent that from reporting. And a lot of times we see clients who are looking to, move into a new home. Hey, Jason, I just got into the 700 Club. I'm about to buy this house. And they'll use their credit cards in the meantime and will forget all about the statement date. And the statement date will show a balance that's higher than what they planned for. And their credit drops 50, 60, 75 points because the credit utilization is now higher than what was planned. So we want to be careful with that. All right. And if you can maximize this strategy, you can be able to, maximize your credit score. Simple yet profound. Okay, there's one strategy I'm not going to go too deep into, but we're going to talk about the debt snowball. How many of you have not heard of debt snowball? Type 1 if you never heard of debt snowball. I think my belly was showing for a little bit. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I apologize. I think my belly was showing. So let's talk about debt snowball. I'm going to talk about this briefly. However, it's not that deep. Debt snowball is a way for those of you who have credit card balances. We talked about how much your credit utilization impacts your credit score. And if your credit utilization is above 30%, okay, let me show you how to compute that really quick. CU means credit utilization, okay? Let's say that you have 3 credit cards. And the balance on those credit cards all together, okay, when we look at the balances on each of them, it equals $500. And let's say that altogether, the limits on those credit cards is $1,000 altogether. When we do 500 divided by 1,000, $500 balance divided by $1,000 limit, that would give you a credit utilization of 50%. Okay? It will give you a credit utilization of 50%. That in the credit world is bad. That shows that you are very dependent on your debt. Anything above 30% shows that you are now becoming dependent on your debt. And the more dependent on your debt to creditors, the higher the likelihood of you actually going delinquent on that account. That's why it hurts your credit so much, okay? And what you want to do is you want to find a way to pay down your credit card balances so that they report at least under 30%. Under 30%. And I would recommend that you try to get them down to 10%, to be honest, because 10% is, ideal, okay? So we have to find a way to get this balance. We have to find a way to get that down. And a great strategy for those of you who probably don't have the best credit score, but you have some freedom within your finances, within your budget, you want to look into something called the debt snowball, okay? A financial leader in the finance world by the name of Dave Ramsey, though he didn't originate it, he made it big, okay? And debt snowball is basically you looking at all your debts, starting from the lowest balance to the highest balance, and basically paying that off as quickly as possible, and then using the funds that you use to pay the lowest balance, adding that to the next debt, and then continuing, and then the snowball gets bigger and bigger. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick illustration. We have 3 credit cards. Okay, we have one for 100. We have one for 200. And then we have another one for $200. Okay? Get this out the way a little bit. And what we want to do is we want to find a way to pay these off as quickly as possible. Put on my calculator. So let's say that the minimum due on each of these accounts are $25. Okay. Again, we're going to set that up automatic because we don't want any late fees. We don't want anything hurting our cash flow. All right. So we're going to set up automatic payments for all of these accounts. We're going to pay the minimum due each month. But let's say that we also have an additional $75 that we can apply towards paying off our debts. And the debt snowball is all about, okay, you got $75 free on top of this. What you're going to do is you're going to add that $75 to the lowest balance. So after you pay the $75 plus the $25, the balance will basically decrease. And in this case, we just paid off this one account. Okay? So what we do is we look at the numbers for the other accounts. 200 minus 25. That gives us 175, and the same for the next account. However, the next month, month 2, we have $100 that are now free. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that $100 to the next smallest debt. Okay? So we're already paying $25 on it. We're going to pay an additional $100. That's going to get us down to a $75 balance. This one, we got $25 going to it. That's going to get us to a $150. And the goal of the debt snowball is to continue this pattern until each of your debts are paid off. And as you pay off each debt, the amount that you're paying for the monthly bill plus the budgeted amount, you add that together and you just keep on piling that up on each debt. Okay? Let me see. I don't think you all can see that on YouTube. But what I would recommend is that you definitely research Debt Snowball. There's a lot of examples out there. It's not that deep. It's very simple in actuality. It would be very easy to understand. I actually have a template available. I'm going to email that to our email list. If you want to get on our email list, comment "I want in," and then I'll send you a link so that you can join that email list. But Debt Snowball is a great strategy to paying down your credit card balances. And remember, as you pay down your credit card balances, in this example, this person, they now have, what is that, 225 out of 1,000. In this example, the work we just did, we got this client to, doing the math really quick, we got them to a 22.5%. Because so, their credit utilization cut in half, their credit score jumped tremendously. Okay? Little stuff like this adds up. Little stuff like this adds up, okay? And if you were to implement this in your life, if you're not able to do the other strategies, this can help you improve your credit score dramatically, okay? I apologize if my mic is in the way. I have to get a new setup because this is no longer working out when I teach. Let me see. Let me answer some questions. Let me see. Muriel asks, I have a question. If you are 2 days late making a payment, would that affect your credit score? No, that does not impact your credit score. When it hurts your credit score is when you are 30 days or more past due. They cannot ding you if you're 2 days late, okay? Keep that in mind. 2 days late will not hurt your credit score. 30 days past due is when they actually can put a late mark on your credit report. All right, keep that in mind. So this is strategy number 3. Another strategy. And, one thing you're going to notice is the strategies that I'm sharing, they're not super deep. They're just very strategic and very effective. And if you can do them, if you can do 2, 3, all 6, you're going to see dramatic increases with your credit score. All right, the fourth strategy is what I call credit card optimization. The reason I came up with this name is because I thought it was sweet, all right? It's really not that deep, but I thought it was sweet, so I called it credit card optimization. Credit card optimization is for those people who have credit card balances. It's negatively impacting their credit utilization. However, it's also impacting their interest payments. And they find themselves, I'm always paying on these credit cards, but I don't see my balance decreasing, okay? Credit card optimization will help you tremendously. Let me share with you exactly what that is. Again, it's not that deep, but it sounds sweet, right? Okay, I got an interesting comment. Taronica says, I have done everything with no results. Any suggestions? Okay, your credit score must be great already. If your credit score is already in the 700 club, yeah, these results, these strategies probably won't help you too much. All right, you already have great credit. Okay. However, for those of you who don't have the best credit and you're looking for a way to improve your credit score dramatically, please continue to get this work. Okay, so credit card optimization. Peep this out. You have 2 credit cards. One credit card, your balance is $1,000. All right, y'all. Got to get a different marker. This one's dying on me. Y'all want to send me some markers? Feel free to email me to get my address. I would love for that donation. I would love for that. I would love to have that. Excuse me. Anyway, we have $1,000 balance. And our limit is $2,000. Okay? And then we have our second card where our balance is $1,000. However, our max is also $1,000. So this will give us a credit utilization of of 66%. As you know, in the credit world, that is not good. So what we want to do is we want to find a way to, one, lower our credit utilization so we can improve our credit score, and also find a way where we can begin to lower our balances without being hit hard by interest. Credit card optimization is a great strategy for people who have at least a 640 to 680 credit score, at least, okay? What you do is you research credit card balance transfers, okay? Credit card balance transfers, you research that. And what you do is imagine if you were able to transfer all of your credit card balances to a new card and keep these original cards open. Okay, imagine if you were able to do that. So let me give you an example of what that would look like. So we have $2,000, right? And we open up a new credit card, and they maxed you out at, okay, let me fix this. And they maxed you out at $2,000 as well. Okay. However, your other credit cards, because those balances were moved over to a new credit card, they now cancel out. So on those other credit cards, your balance is now $0. So altogether, when we look at the 3 cards that you have now, we have $0 out of 2,000, and then we have $0 out of 1,000. Total credit utilization, we have 2,000 out of 5,000. That'll give us a credit utilization of 40%. Okay? You see our credit utilization is now at 40%. So our credit utilization just dropped 26%. In the credit world, that big of a drop, that's amazing. Your credit score probably just went up, 50 points. I don't know for sure, but it went up tremendously, okay? However, this new balance transfer card, oh, by the way, for the next 12 to 24 months, they're not charging you any interest. This is interest free. Interest free for 12 to 24 months. That means that you have 12 to 24 months to pay down that balance without paying any interest. Imagine how much money you would save on interest. Imagine how quickly you can get that paid down if you're paying $200 a month. It'd be 10 months. Versus you're paying $200 a month on these cards, and most of it is going towards your interest. Dramatic, okay? Credit card balances are amazing for people who can do them. But if your credit score, let's say that is not a 680, I wouldn't recommend that you do it. 640 minimum, okay? If not 640 minimum, don't try, because you're just going to add an increase to your credit report, and it's going to end up hurting your score even more, okay? However, this is a great strategy for people who have mediocre credit, 640, 680, and their credit card balances are high. However, they're paying on it, but they're not being able to pay it down quickly because a lot of it's going towards interest. This is a great way for you to optimize that and not pay interest at all for the next 12 to 24 months. Lower your credit utilization, dramatically, then also save tons on interest. Great strategy. Jason, I have credit cards. My balances, they're mediocre. However, what can I do that will help me improve my credit score 25, 50 points in 30, 45 days? What can I do without paying anything additional? Oh, that's deep. But I have one for you. Again, these ideas are very simple. However, if you implement them and you can get the results will be profound. So, what I recommend for my clients is every 6 months, you need to contact your credit card provider and do this. If you do this and you've shown progress on paying down your balances, they're going to do you a favor. Okay? This is it. Request limit increases. Every 6 months, if you are paying down your balances and your credit score is slowly improving, however, your credit utilization is hurt, and you want a quick way to improve your credit, this can help you dramatically. Okay, let me give you a scenario. Let's say you have 2 credit cards and they're both maxed out. Well, no, let's say that one is a 400 balance. The second one is a 300 balance. However, the limit on both of those are $500. You've been making some good progress on paying them down. Not the progress that you want, but it's progress nonetheless, okay? And you want to find a way to improve your credit and also boost your credit score quickly. This is what you do. Hey, Capital One, I've been with you guys for a good 2 years now. I've been paying down my balance. I was wondering if you would be so kind to give me a limit increase. I have learned that this simple gesture can take your credit utilization from a 70%, which it is now, to a 25% overnight. So You've been paying on this. Your credit score is slowly improving. You're paying down your balances. You know what? Capital One says, you know what? We're going to give you a limit increase. We're going to increase your limit to $1,500. Okay, $1,500. Both of them. And your balances stay the same. Let's say they stay the same. Do the math. 700 divided by 3,000. Credit utilization drops to 23.3%. Whoa. Jason, you're telling me that all I got to do is show progress on paying down my debt, pay my bills on time, and every 6 months, if I request a credit limit increase, the likelihood of me getting that increase is high. Yes. Yes. Every 6 months, you need to contact your credit card provider and say, hey, do I qualify for a credit limit increase? I've seen this happen thousands of times where clients, their credit utilization is at 70%, 165 of their points. They're missing out on, majority of them. By this simple gesture, their credit utilization drops 50 points. Their credit score jumps 50, 75, sometimes even 100 points from this simple gesture. Imagine if your credit utilization drops significantly like this in a 30-day time frame. In 45 days, you're going to see that report on your credit report, and your credit score is going to shoot up like this. Simple. All you got to do is ask. They give you abilities to request a limit increase online. Okay? Every 6 months, my recommendation, as long as you are paying down the balance, paying your bill on time, go for it. Thank me later. And then here's the final secret. Credit builder loan, okay? We talked about the credit file mix, 10% of your credit score, 55 points, it impacts your credit score. Sometimes people will get the credit cards, but they don't have the installment. I don't want you just to go out and buy a car just so you can get installments on your credit report. That's not smart. I don't want you to go out and, buy a new house just so you can get installments on your credit report and improve your credit score. I want you to do things that are strategic and affordable within your budget, okay? You need to build a relationship with a credit union. Okay? You need to build a relationship with the credit union. There's also another provider, and I'll provide the information in the comment area. They're called Self-Lender, okay? I do have a referral link, so if you want to support me, please go through my referral link and not through them directly. I would appreciate that. They'll give me $10 for referring you. Anyway, another subject. So we have credit builder loan, okay? And a credit builder loan is basically the credit union or the bank, which is, in this scenario, Self-Lender. What they do is say, hey, you're trying to build credit on your credit report. This is what we'll do. We will give you, let's say in this example, we'll give you $500. Okay? We're going to give you $500. However, we're not just going to give it to you. We're going to put this into a saving account for you. And we're going to hold it for you. And in order for you to redeem this $500, we're going to have you pay $25 a month until you pay a total of $500. And every time you pay that $25, we're going to report it to the 3 credit bureaus. We're going to report it to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax every month. And it's going to report on your credit report as a positive payment for an installment account. And all you have to do is pay that $25 every month until you pay a total of $500, plus whatever small percentage of interest that you have to pay. Okay? You pay that every month. We're going to report it on your credit report, and you're going to see positive payments being added to your credit. This is going to help your mix. Once you pay that $500, we will then make it available for you. We will then make it available for you. We will actually give it to you. And you can do whatever the hell you want to do with it. You can keep it in our bank, or you can go use it to have a down payment on your next car, whatever. However, each month that reports on your credit report as an installment account. If you have a small amount of installments on your credit report and you are looking to improve your credit and improve your credit file mix, highly suggest that you get a credit builder loan. Okay? They have very affordable plans for you that will fit within your budget. Instead of you getting something ridiculous, $25 a month, every time you pay it, it reports to your credit report. And as long as you pay it on time, don't miss any payments, that will strategically help you improve your credit. Okay? And voila, those are the 6 secrets to improve your credit score up to 200 points. So we talked about the 5 components of your credit score. Okay? We talked about those 5 components. Get this out the way. Each of these ideas that I shared with you will positively impact each of these 5 components. You do that, you do the strategies, you implement the strategies that I shared with you, you will see dramatic increases to your credit score. And it's that simple. So this was another edition of Dough Chaser TV. Did something I don't normally do. Took an hour out to break down 6 strategies with you. Hopefully, this information has been helpful. If so, please, give your boy some love. Like this video, share it with your friends and family. I would definitely appreciate that. Tag someone who can use this information. Let them know about what it is we do, Dough Chaser TV. And subscribe. Subscribe, like, follow. I would definitely appreciate that, okay? That's all I ask. And if you are someone where you are looking to improve your credit and you need help and don't mind getting help from human beings like myself, I own a credit repair company. I own a financial improvement company, and we offer a service called the 700 Club Credit Repair, okay? And if you are someone where you have derogatory information hurting your credit report and you need help removing that from your credit report, feel free to sign up for our service. You can learn more about us at the 700clubcreditrepair.com. I will provide that information in the link. Omar, you are welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you. Feel free to learn more about our credit repair service at the link in the comment area. But I got something very special for you all. I'm giving away your choice. Whoever wins, you can pick either the Dough Chaser hat. Okay. Nice hat. Or you can get the t-shirt, Credit Champion. Your choice. If you are someone who is interested in winning, the first 2 people to text "I want it" or text whatever, text the first 2 people to say, "Hey, I want the shit that you got." Whatever you want to say, I don't care how you say it. I won't mind. Text 567-318-5210. The first 2 people to text that number and let us know that you're interested in our free stuff. 567-318-5210. 5210. If you won last week, you will not win this week. I'm sorry. New winners every week. 567-318-5210. Text that number right now. The first 2 people, you're in. That is the number to my office, actually. 567-318-5210. And via text, we're going to figure out what it is you want, the hat or the shirt, and I'm going to send it to you. We had 2 winners last week. If they're watching, feel free to, take a picture and tag me in it, and I would definitely appreciate that. Okay, so we got one. I want it. If you want to win, text 567. All right, y'all. I apologize. YouTube, my camera died, so I had to switch it to my Mac camera. Anyway, we got one winner. Just text them back. Okay. I want that shit. Hey, I'm not mad at it. All right, we got our winners. The first winner said, I want it. This is Chaseon Smith. You are our first winner. Thank you, Chaseon. Comment where you are. Where are you? Are you on YouTube or are you on Facebook? Let me know. And then our second winner, they said, I want that shit. Let me know who you are. I just sent you a text back. Just text you back. Let me know who you are. So I want to thank you all for joining me this evening. We have our 2 winners. Please feel free to learn more about our credit repair service at the link in the comment area. If you are interested in learning more about us, we are open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Fridays 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give us a call, 567-318-5210. A member from our support team would be glad to assist you. I want to thank you all for joining me this evening. Let me see. You all are very welcome. Put this information to work, and if you can do it, you're going to dramatically improve your credit scores. My word. All right. But I'm about to pack up and get out of here. So thank you. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe. I'm out.